So, a brief bit of potted history about Martin Audio. So Martin Audio was started back in 1971 when David Martin came over from Australia and started building bespoke touring systems for the supergroups of the 70s. Groups like Supertramp, The Who, Pink Floyd, of course. I forgot them earlier as well. How can you forget Pink Floyd? Of course, back in those days, really before the days of touring rental companies taking off, bands used to come along and buy a PA, stick it in a truck and go on tour. And so that's what David Martin started doing. But then David had some great ideas about PA development, and really he was instrumental in producing one of the first and most recognisable mass-produced PA systems of the era. And that's this one over on the left-hand side, the MH212, or filler shave as it was called. And he was a very creative guy, and he moved forward to a system called F2, which is effectively a loudspeaker rack cabinet, if you like, where you put acoustic units in to configure the system to be whatever you wanted it to be. Time went on, Martin Audio developed, and we started to diversify and introduce installation products like EM Series. EM Series was in manufacture for over a decade and was highly successful as an installation product. Moving on to the late 90s, and we introduced cinema boxes. Certainly in the UK and Italy and Poland. We have our cinema distributor from Poland here. Hello, Gregor. How are you? We've been very successful in very high-end cinema installations. Moving forward to the late noughties, and Martin Audio got involved with more conventional line arrays that we all get very used to seeing. And that brings us kind of on to the present day with the introduction of MLA. The first MLA system was introduced in 2010. The development process was extremely long, up to about 5 years. But what that meant was that we introduced a technology that leapfrogged everything else that anybody was doing out in the market.